ever the professional, I have got the names of the books that we're going to talk about today on a sticky note. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I am wrapping up my November TBR, which was full of books that I was going to read from Netgalley. I started November with 95 books on my Netgalley TBR and I wanted to bring that down. And I started November also with a Netgalley score of 65 and I wanted to bring that up. I am already going to tell you, my Netgalley score has not changed. Mainly because what I read was significantly cancelled out by how many books that I have gotten. I might have read like 12 books in total in November. And I got 17 books sent to me on Netgalley. So I'm not really expecting that my Netgalley score is going to have changed that much. So I've got the video on my windowsill, got my headphones. Let's figure out where we were. I mean, yeah, I'm saying 9, but knowing me, it'll probably be like 4 tops. Okay, so spoiler alert, you didn't read 4, you read 6. Well done you. 6 of the books that I read in November came from Netgalley, but some of them actually didn't come from this TBR. I read The Cousins by Karen and Mcmanus because I'm on a blog tour for that next month and I absolutely loved it, but you are going to have to check out the blog post and see why. First on the list is The Christmas Swap by Sandy Barker. Okay, so I did not read The Christmas Swap. I am actually planning to take part in a readathon in December where that book fits perfectly. So because of that, I did kind of move it into December a little bit. So that's one already not ticked off. And so next on the list is The Black Kids by Christina Hammond Reid. I did read that. I did read The Black Kids and honestly, I did not love it as much as I was expecting to, for the main reason that this book involves one trope that I absolutely cannot stand. Cheating. I absolutely hate it when characters who are already in a relationship get with another character, and that was not pretty rife in this book, but it happened quite a lot, and that really turned me off on the story. And that is actually really disappointing because overall the story was really good and it's such a great fictionalized retelling of the riots that were happening in LA in 1992. It's just that I could not get past the cheating section. I'm so sorry. Next on the list is 1 Week in Spring Hollow by Lucy Knott, and I have tried 4 different times not to say 1 Week in Stars Hollow. I did read that. But I also DNF'd it. I felt like it was way too long. It could have been very easily trimmed down by like 25-30% and it would have still made the same impact as a book. As well as that, I kind of found the main character a little bit annoying. I don't even know why. I could not connect to Scarlett in any way or shape or form. I think it's because she was so angry at Devon for not getting in touch with her, but he actually had. He had sent her quite a few letters when he had moved to New York and had not gotten anything back from her. So I felt like that kind of double standard of you've gotten in touch with me, why didn't you get in touch with me when I didn't respond to you, didn't really enamor me to the book that much. Next on the list is Stuck on You by Porsche Macintosh. I did read that. I did read Stuck on You. I absolutely adored it. So it's set on 2 kind of different areas of the UK. You start out in London with Sadie, who is the PA to a very busy artist and photographer in London. And she's leaving notes in her desk drawer for another guy called Adam, who works on alternating days to her. And so Christmas time hits in this book and her boss comes to her hometown with her, which made absolutely 0 sense to me. But they kind of start to get a lot closer during that. And for me, actually, the highlight of this book was the kind of lead up to Christmas schedule that happens in Hope Island. They have this thing called the Dickens Day. They have this thing where everybody goes and like sends Christmas cards around the town, and the loser has to do something like buy a pint, or that's just in her family. But I think the highlight for me was that the whole town came together and watched It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve in the cinema in their pajamas. That absolutely just screams out Christmas to me. And it is one of the best Christmas romances I think I've read in such a long time. I absolutely loved it. The next one has gotten so much buzz. And to be honest, I can't really believe that I got approved for a copy. I still can't believe. I just sent out the request, not really on a whim, but saying, I'm gonna not likely get a copy of this, but that's okay. I'll just wait until it comes out because I still really want to read it. And that is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. So I did read that, but not as an e-copy. I actually got sent a copy of it from somebody on my wish list. I think I gave it 3 stars at the end. I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. It follows 4 people who live in this like retirement village, and there's a murder that happens in the area, and they go out and kind of discover what happened. There's a side plot of a PC who has come from London to work in this like very rural area where not a lot happens. So her life gets kind of turned upside down a little bit when this murder happens in the community. And then a second one happens and they all start kind of putting clues together from the first one. I'll be honest, the ending kind of didn't work for me because I think I still had so many questions at the end of this book. I'm probably going to have to go back and reread it just to figure out what actually happened at the end. And so next on the list is Finding Love at the Christmas Market by Joe Thomas. I did not love that one. I actually DNF'd that. I felt like when you started out the book, you were actually 35% or so into the book, that something had happened beforehand, but you didn't have all the information to figure out what was going on. I gave it like 10 or 15%, but I never felt like I knew what was happening in this book. I never felt like I got enough information that I could enjoy it. So unfortunately that was also a DNF. And so next on the list is One Family Christmas by Bella Osborne. I also DNF'd that one. I did not get on with this as well as I thought that I would. So that sounded like something that would absolutely be my kind of book because it had a family getting together. It had a lot of food. It had Christmas. It had a romance. But I just did not find it believable in any way. I did not find Joe and Lottie's romance. I did not find Joe and Lottie's romance in any way believable. It felt like she didn't actually want him to be in the room when he was in the room, and she wanted him to be in the room when he wasn't in the room. Makes sense out of that, because I couldn't. There was also such a huge cast of characters that it felt there's no way I can keep up with all of these people. There's no way I can know who is speaking now. Who are they speaking to? What is their relation to this person? Okay, so this might not have happened in the final edit, but at one stage throughout the book, a character who was definitely Lottie's cousin called her his aunt. And that kind of turned me off a bit because I was like, if the author can't even keep up with how many characters we've got in here, how am I kind of expected to? It also felt a bit like a comedy of errors in that something happened all the time. It was never just smooth sailing. It was never just we're enjoying our Christmas together. It's our final Christmas in our family home because our nan has died and it's going to be sold on because of what happened in her will. I felt like it was just too much of a comedy of errors, that there was always something happening. There was always somebody who was doing something they shouldn't have been. There was always something had happened that shouldn't have happened. There was always something completely unavoidable that just happened. And it was too much for me. Next on the list is, surprisingly, not a Christmas book. It is The Love Study by Chris Ripper. I didn't even read that. I'm going to tell you right now, did not even look at that in November. And so finally, we're back to the festive reading, because I cannot get enough festive reading. And it is A Perfect Paris Christmas by Mandy Baggett. Okay, I didn't read that one because I am only reading it right now. I haven't finished it, but what I have read so far, I am actually really enjoying. So at the end of all of that, we've got 6 that have come off the shelf entirely, whether they were read or they were DNF'd. We've got 1 that's in process, and we've got 2 that are still left to be read. I mean, that's a pretty okay thing. That's like 60%. That's 2/3 of the books that have actually been ticked off. I'm kind of okay with that. But, like I said, because of all of the books that have come in November, the score has not changed in any way. That is the wrap up of my November reading, and as much as I attempted to clear up my Netgalley shelf. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.